This time I want to go a little bit more into like dive deep a little. I want to dive a little bit deeper. I want to dive a little bit deeper for this tea of the week, for this tea for the week, okay? Hi y'all. We're actually on part 2 of belonging, basically. Belonging. I don't know what I'm going to name this series. I haven't figured it out yet. And if you haven't seen that video, the link is going to be below, okay? And we're basically talked about, why do people feel like they're being ostracized or they don't belong. This time, I want to go on about basically a little bit more on the fear of why, and like how that is so tied to feeling like you're always on the outside and that you're just not accepted and all, like, and basically rejection, like, because that feeling of not belonging and stuff like that, and that feeling, it's really just a form of rejection. And I want to go into that. So before we get deep into it, if you like it and you love it, this kind of content, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when your girl is back on. So, yes. And I'm so excited because I actually want to do more and more stuff like this with you guys. And if you're here for it, yay. If you're not, you can catch me with some other things. We're going to be doing reacts and a new segment that I'm going to bring to you. Okay. But yeah, so I definitely want to get on, like, basically I want to highlight how it is rejection. And like, I really want to highlight on that ostracizing feeling is a form of rejection. That's really what it is. And that at the root of it, it stems from fear. It stems from that fear of that unacceptance. That's like a big piece of lint. Sorry. Unacceptance. Judgment. Sorry. That's what I was trying to say. It's basically like, it's, again, judgment and anything else that comes with it. So it's like that mask that we wear, or some people wear, I feel like it comes in 2 forms. For me, I'm the form where it's like, I don't feel like people want to see, like, well, I won't say I feel like it. There's been many moments in my life where it's like people are like, oh, that's a lot of you, put that away. So it's kind of like I'm willing to show that part of me to those who I know who are ready to see that part of me. So basically, I feel like the mask comes from two different types. One is because you've never shown it because you're afraid of what people will say. And I think the other one is you have shown it and now you're just tired, or maybe you are afraid of the judgment you did get in the past. So it's kind of like a version of PTSD, or that you're just tired and you don't want to kind of go through the judgment. Like, it's not necessarily that you're afraid of it. You're just like, I just choose not to deal with that battle today. And so, so I guess it's kind of like one category has 2 subcategories. So that may be the reason why we put on this like prim proper face for people, and it's not really who we are. And then we become onions with all these layers, and then we sometimes lose ourselves in all these layers that we put on. It's like, wait, like, once you've gotten so used at faking it till you make it, and not in a good way. And like, there's a way you can fake it till you make it that's positive. So it's like, and that's usually for becoming like self-affirmation. If you don't feel it, if you don't feel good about yourself, you don't feel great about yourself and all that stuff, and you keep faking it until you start to feel it. So, and then there's a way that is like, you're so used to faking that you don't even know who you really are anymore. And that's a negative side to it. Since everything in life is about balance. So basically it's like, this whole thing about you being this person that you don't even know who you are. Now you have to go through all these layers of where things came from. Like now you're in therapy, and not the thing, therapy is not bad, but now you're in therapy having to deep dive through all these layers that had you not had to wear this mask, you probably wouldn't have to deep dive through. And I think that the thing that most people have to realize is that, yes, feeling like you're accepted anywhere and everywhere first starts in here, in you, in yourself. Okay? So once you accept who you are, learn who you are, and sometimes that journey of learning who you are is going to be a lifetime journey. Because as I said in a latter video, you're always evolving. You're a constantly changing person who's always evolving. And if you stop growing, then you're not living anymore. So if you are evolving, that's good. That's what you're supposed to do. If you are not, you might want to reevaluate some things so you can keep your being fruitful in life. So, whatever areas you feel like you need that growth in. Okay. I don't think I need to say more on that part. Like, there is beauty in growth. There's beauty in growing. There's beauty in learning and taking yourself on the adventure and the journey of discovering who you are, of becoming a better version of yourself, of becoming the dream version of yourself, all that stuff. Basically, going back to fear, as far as like that rejection and stuff like that, I think you hear this often. A lot of people say we're more alike than we are different. And that actually has a lot more truth than we all know to be. Okay? Just like you're feeling like the outside of the room, or you're feeling like this person that you're being is not who you really are, and you would love if you're just exhausted of putting on this face, or you just are so scared to like show what's really under the face you're putting on, whatever the reason is, remember that it's still kind of stemming from fear. Either fear of people, like in my case, I think that's what it was for me. Fear of just like, because for me, it was kind of like a mistrust of people. It's just like, man, I tried to be me and people just ain't ready for me. So, and it's like, let everybody be ready for what you got to offer. And I mean, it is the case. I'm over here trying to give people meat and we still on mashed potatoes. Just shit. So, we still on, no, we're not on solid food yet. So, and then, you got to meet where people, sometimes you do got to meet people where they are. That's just a hard lesson learned. But with that being said, there is, once you start accepting yourself and you're comfortable with yourself, you'll notice that the fear of other people that fear of rejection or that fear of judgment will start to fade away, because you're so comfortable and you're radiating in your own light that anybody else's clouds of darkness, it's like light breaks darkness every time. Light always, even on a scientific level, you turn on the light you can see probably miles away in a pool of darkness. So with that being said, the more and more you accept self and you're comfortable with self, that you belong to yourself. Basically, you learn how to belong to yourself. Like, you give yourself that feeling of belonging and that sense of home and that sense of self-love, the less you'll feel that rejection and that fear of rejection and judgment. So we'll probably go into a little bit more, but we're going to end this video here today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. Always remember, my kind of design, designing your own kind of life, and never forget to dream. I love you guys. Until next time.